Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 6th grade concept of absolute value. This is standard 6.2b in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 8 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have a number line here. We've got 4 different points, P, Q, R, and T. And then the question is, which point on the number line represents the number with the greatest absolute value? All right, if we look at our reference materials, we are going to find nothing there that helps us with absolute value. So that is a vocabulary term we are going to need to come into the STAAR test with. So let's define this first. Absolute value. It's a pretty simple concept. And really what we're looking for is when we're looking for absolute value, is the distance from 0. So if we're thinking of a number line, and not all number lines have 0, right? You might have a number line that goes from 10 to 20 or something, but if you're thinking about an infinite number line that goes in both positive and negative, right in the middle is going to be this 0, right? That's kind of what splits our negative numbers to the left and our positive numbers to the right. And that distance from 0 is going to be our absolute value. So we represent that with these vertical lines like this. Okay, so for example, let's start with t, and then we're going to move our way backwards. Okay, so the absolute value of t, okay, well, t is sitting right there at 20. So the question is how far away is 20 from 0? Well, it's 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 is 20 away from 0. So the absolute value of 20 is going to be 20. Seems like that doesn't change much, but what it really does is it does change our negative numbers. So 20 is 20 away from 0, doesn't matter which direction it is. So our absolute value of, let's do our next one, R, right? So that's going to be our absolute value of 0. How far is 0 away from 0? Well, 0 is at 0. Looks like 101, but that's absolute value of 0. All right, so far, obviously, t is going to be our largest. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Let's look at q. Our absolute value of q. So q is sitting at negative 20. All right, so let's look then, how far away is that negative 20 going to be away from 0? Well, if I wanted to get up to 0, I can start at 20, and let's skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. So negative 20 is 20 away from 0. And this is one of the big things that we'll see with absolute value. When you take an absolute value of a number, it's always going to end up positive. So the absolute value of 20 is the exact same as the absolute value of negative 20, because they both end up as a positive 20. They are both 20 away from 0, simply in the opposite direction. And if we can understand that concept, we basically understand absolute value. So right now, we've got 2 of these that are right sitting at the exact same distance from 0, 20 and 20. And hopefully you're seeing, but there's P. Let's look at that last one. And I'm going to change colors here. So P is sitting at negative 25. And so it is the smallest number if you were to put these in order from least to greatest, because it is the largest negative number. But we're not looking for least to greatest. We're looking for the greatest absolute value, which means how far is this from 0? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Negative 25 is 25 away from 0. So if it's 25 away from 0, that means that is going to be our greatest absolute value, and that is our answer, A, negative 25.